Hey people, and today we're covering a 2021 movie crime horror called Sound of Violence. The movie starts off with Alexis's voice narrating how hearing sounds changed her life. The opening scene dates back to 2002, showing young Alexis, her brother, Kevin, and mother in a moving car. Alexis's mother signals her to touch the speaker of the vehicle to feel the sound coming from the music being played. This shows that Alexis was deaf at the moment. Upon arriving home, Alexis and her mother engage in a chat about her father fighting in the war and the need for him to feel loved. Her mother talks with her using sign language. During the chat, it can be seen that Alexis only lost her ability to hear and she is not a dumb. While having dinner, Kevin, Alexis's brother, talks about how he wishes Jordan, the basketball superstar, could come back and play for the team. He suggests going out to watch a game of basketball to the group. While talking, Alexis cuts him short and shouts, saying, "You all bore him." She was referring to her father, who is silent at everything they are saying. She lets them know how glad she is not to hear a word they were saying. Up next, Alexis's mother shouts at her, telling her to go to her room. As soon as she leaves, Alexis's mother welcomes her father arriving home that day from the war. Back in her room, Alexis is seen touching the speaker of the radio, trying to feel the sound. Shortly afterward, she gets to the living room where she witnesses her father eliminating her mother by attacking with a knife multiple times. She goes over, picks up a mallet and eliminates the father with it. Immediately she hits her father. She feels a strange sensation of sound around her which makes her smile. This triggers her hearing ability. The cops arrive later on and Alexis speaks about how invigorating the sensation she felt when she was eliminating her father. This conversation happens in her mind though. Back in the present day, Alexis is seen delivering a lecture about sound and beats to her class in school. Alexis gets back home and sees her roommate, Marie, working on a sound mixer. Shortly afterward, Marie tells that she will be back by 7 p.m. and then Alexis leaves the house. She then gets to a musical store and walks around the store before stumbling on an instrument. She turns the instrument on and enjoys the tune for a while. She leaves immediately after getting a message from Marie. Later that night, Alexis and Marie arrive in an apartment where they meet up with a woman and a man tied up for some romance. The woman asks where the camera is, but the duo respond by saying they only need sound recording. Starting up, the woman hits the man repeatedly with a whip and they get their headset on to get the sound. Alexis begs the woman to go harder as she enjoys every bit of the hit. The man signals he's reached his limit and the woman stops. This makes Alexis furious and she pays the woman with some cash angrily and they both leave. Getting to their workstation, Marie talks to Alexis about people's limits and the need to respect, but Alexis keeps telling her she needs something more powerful. Alexis listens to the sound recording from earlier and she hugs Marie. Marie leaves and tells Alexis to let her know if she needs anything. Alexis listened to the recorded sound more and had a sudden sharp feeling prompting her to remove the headset. Up next, while walking home, Alexis is stalked by a man who tries to flirt with her, but she pushes him away and he gets knocked down by an oncoming vehicle, triggering the sound sensation she had when she hit her father years ago. She walks up to the man's body and suddenly he grabs her and says, "Now you got what you wanted." Immediately Alexis wakes up realizing that she was in a dream. The next morning, Alexis is seen going to Marie's room and she finds a man there who introduces himself as Duke. Marie and Alexis hug and Alexis leaves the room shortly afterwards. Walking on the street with her headset on, Alexis discovers she goes deaf for a few seconds after removing her headset. She gets to her doctor and gets informed that that was a possible early warning sign, as this might happen more often. She reminded her of the fact she has to do more tests now since she's approaching 30 years of age. The next scene shows Alexis walking the streets. She walks over to a homeless man and gives him food to eat. After eating some of the food, the man collapses. Next scene shows the man waking up and Alexis in a room having flashes about her past. The homeless man tries to escape but Alexis gets to him before he can. We can now see the man tied to a chair with his mouth gagged. Alexis sets up recording equipment around him and puts on her headset. She turns on the equipment. With every hit from the equipment hitting the man, she makes a beat of it in her head, enjoying every bit of the man's pain. Eventually, the man passes out and the beat stops. Alexis becomes remorseful and leaves the scene. She gets home and plays the recording over the headset again while she plays the piano that creates a soothing sound in her head. Afterward, Marie walks in and says this calls for celebration as Alexis tells her she's hit a breakthrough. They both agree to go for a drink. Marie decides to invite Duke over for a drink too. Alexis says it's a good idea. At the club, Duke tries talking to Alexis while Marie goes to get a drink but she ignores him. Alexis goes over to the DJ stand to play. As she works her DJ magic, she has flashbacks of her past again. The next morning, Detective Fuentes and the forensic unit are seen at last night's crime scene trying to figure out what happened. The detective then said the words, "It's not over." Alexis is seen the next day in a musical store listening to music from a music tape. She leaves the store thanking the attendant. Later, Mr. Bell is delivering a lecture in Alexis's class on sound. Then Mr. Bell hands the class over to her to finish the lecture. She plays a beat which she said she's been working on, but the whole class feels disgusted after hearing the sound, as it is coming from the pain of animals being taken out. She loses her hearing while the class was shouting at her for being a freak and runs out of class. At home, Marie leaves a voicemail on her cell telling her to call. Next scene shows Alexis in a studio. A man comes in and introduces himself as Jared. He says he saw the notice outside for a tenor singer. They negotiate about the pay and she pays him $132. Jared goes to the recording room and starts singing. Alexis praises his singing ability. She then hands him some body vital flips to wear around his body for better transfer of sound. She tells him to sing Amazing Grace. As Jared sings, Alexis activates a switch connected to the flips around his body, causing him shocking pain. Jared tries taking them off, but he could not. After some time he passes out, giving Alexis a soothing sensation again. On taking off her headset, she realizes she's lost her hearing again. The next morning, cops can be seen investigating the crime scene. Marie gets to their workstation and finds Alexis there. Marie told her that she's worried about her. Alexis tells her to go because she has work to do. Marie further adds she's going out with Duke later. Duke and Marie are seen in a music gallery with Alexis backstage as she spikes the instrumentalist drink. Duke and Marie talk about Alexis's family and how they died. Meanwhile, Duke excuses himself. The instrumentalist takes a sip from the drink. She feels dizzy and starts playing according to Alexis's directive from a remote control, all the while hurting herself as she plays. After a few moments, she passes out. Later on, the detective gives Marie her card so she can call her if she want to talk about anything. Marie goes outside to talk to Duke. Duke tells Marie he saw Alexis backstage as she's walking away, but Marie gets angry that it could never be her and leaves Duke on the spot. Marie wakes in bed the following morning with a heavy head. Alexis comes to the living room and the duo speaks about what happened last night. Marie then asks Alexis if she was there. Alexis denies. Duke then texted Marie that the instrumentalist survived, which Alexis sees. Alexis makes some texts with Marie's phone and leaves the house. Alexis sits down outside a garage as Duke comes over. She acts surprised seeing Duke. She told him Marie is inside and that she needs them. Getting inside, Alexis tranquilizes Duke. Marie wakes suddenly at home. At the same time, Duke wakes up tied up to a chair as Alexis screams she doesn't want to do this. Up next, Duke struggles to escape, all to no avail. Alexis connects recording equipment to his body and hits him. This causes her to lose her hearing for some seconds. She goes over to Duke to get a better sound, but Duke knocks her down. Alexis hits him in the back, leaving him incapacitated. She continues hitting him till he passes out. She then brings out a knife from her jacket and punctures Duke, who's still passed out. Alexis enjoys every bit of the feeling she gets from eliminating Duke as she says thank you. Back home, Marie walks into Alexis's room and discovers Alexis's iPod. Marie goes to their workstation and sees Alexis there. Marie talks to Alexis about what she heard on Alexis's iPod. After some chat, the duo locks lips. While they are doing that, Marie sees the liquid from Duke's body dripping from the trailer. She opened the trailer door and discovered Duke's body. Marie screamed and Alexis said you shouldn't have seen that as she knocked her out. In the next scene, Marie wakes up tied. Meanwhile, Detective Fuentes is making her findings about the killer. Marie asks Alexis why she killed Duke. She replied it's part of her music. Marie begs Alexis to untie her. Alexis replies saying she has to go to work and uses a handkerchief to knock Marie out. At the hospital, Detective Fuentes asks the instrumentalist who survived Alexis's attack about what she knows and how she can help. Meanwhile, Alexis is prepping Marie for a major sound experiment. Detective Fuentes tracks Alexis to the garage but doesn't find her trailer parked there anymore. She calls the station to put out an APB on Alexis and her trailer. Alexis drives the trailer to a beach full of people and leaves the door open. Marie walks out heavily injured. Alexis goes to a distance and activates the sound machine attached to Marie's body. She enjoys the beat she's getting from Marie's pain. After some time, Alexis starts crying as she reminisces all her memories with Marie. Shortly, she loses her hearing ability again. Detective Fuentes arrives at the beach when Marie is about to go inside the water. Just then she passes out on Detective Fuentes' hand. Alexis is devastated, probably because she lost her friend or because she lost her hearing as she walks farther away from the scene and the movie comes to an end. Will she be apprehended? Guess we'll never know. Thanks for watching, guys.